Hello again, Sandpiper Artists. This is Mr. Mocker coming with you with our next art project. As you can see, the title of our project is a tie-dye turtle, and we're gonna have a lot of fun making this. It's gonna be a little messy, not too bad, but you can see the supplies you're going to need. You're gonna need some colored markers, a coffee filter, or possibly a paper towel if you don't have a coffee filter, construction paper, glue stick or Elmer's glue, and some safety scissors. Now I'm going to step away from my computer and I'm going to walk over to my overhead projector and try to talk loud so everybody can hear me. And all my work's going to be done in front of you on the screen, so pay attention. And you can always pause and rewind and go over things that you think you may have missed. So here we go. Okay, so we are going to create these really cool tie-dye turtles. They look like tie-dye t-shirts that you may have made before. And we're going to simply use the coffee filters and the markers to create this tie-dye. So what you need first is to have a coffee filter, a round coffee filter, and you may want to put a piece of paper behind it because the markers are going to bleed through and you don't want them to get on anything and stain them, even though they may be washable markers. Now, you can use any color markers you want. You can use as many as you want, such as maybe 2 or 3. I'm going to go ahead and use the entire palette of the rainbows: red, orange, blue, yellow, purple, and green. And what you want to do is you're going to fill your entire coffee filter up with color. We're not drawing pictures, no hearts, no houses or trees or flowers, just odd shapes. And I'm going to start with my yellow. Yellow is a really good color to use on this project. It will really stand out. So I'm going to start making these crazy shapes, and I will simply color them in. Don't want to scribble. You want to color it all the way in and keep adding more. I'm just going to go ahead and finish all where I want my yellow to be. And I'll spread them out. Go all the way to the edge with some of them. Add a little more yellow. And there's a couple more spaces I can put some more yellow. Then I'll go to my next color, maybe orange, and start filling in spots with orange. Now you want to make sure all your colors touch each other. So when we spray these with water later, the water's going to make the colors blend together. You'll see some really neat color reaction. Okay, so you're going to continue with all your colors that you've chosen. And when you're finished, you want your coffee filter to be completely colored in. It's going to look the same on both sides because it does go through. And you want to choose a piece of construction paper. It's your choice. You can choose blue, like the turtle may be in water. I'm going to use simple black construction paper because black, the turtle will really stand out from the black. And what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and use our glue stick, and we're going to glue this down. Right in the center of the construction paper. And when you use your glue stick, you want to work your way from the center out. That way you're not going to tear your paper, your coffee filter. And you simply flip it over, and we're going to glue it right in the center of that black paper right there. Okay, so we now have the shell of the turtle. That's going to be the messy part. Now we're going to create the head, the limbs, and his tail. And for those, I'm going to go ahead and use green paper, and I would suggest green paper for this part also. It could be light green or dark green. And what I want to do first is I want to fold my paper in half like a book. A nice fold. If it's not folded perfect, it's okay. And then we're going to fold it long ways once more. And then we're going to turn it and we're going to fold it like a book one more time. What this is going to do, when you open the paper up, it's going to give you 6 sections, 6 rectangles. And that's where we're going to draw our different body parts. Okay? So I'm going to use a marker so you can see. You may want to use a pencil. But in each one of these rectangles, we'll start with this one here. We'll draw the turtle's head. And it's basically going to be a tall, not real tall, rainbow that comes back to where we started down at the bottom. For his tail, you can do a triangle, and I like to round mine at the top just a little bit. It's not real long. And for his limbs, his flippers, we're going to draw 4 of those. And if you want to cut this first one out and use it as a template so you can trace it on the other 3, you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and just draw all 4 of mine out. We have 2. I'm going to do 2 more in the opposite direction. All right. So we have those 4 flippers, his head, and his tail. So I went ahead and I've already started one. I've cut these out. There are his parts. There are 6 pieces. And now we're going to go ahead and add them to our turtle shell. And find my glue stick. We'll put glue stick on the back side of these pieces. And when you glue these down, you want to make sure you put them underneath the shell, not on top. So we put his head going one direction, and his tail will be on the opposite direction underneath his shell. Okay, so we know he's facing to the left. And now, I can just kind of lay out his flippers, see where I want them. Okay, and flip them over, put some glue stick on them. And again, put them underneath his shell. It's okay if they go off the construction paper. That's okay. Now, if you're using a paper towel, I'm not really experimenting with the paper towel, so it may be a little fragile. It may not work, but try your best if you don't have a coffee filter. And if you do one with a paper towel, I would love to see how it came out. exactly where I wanted his flipper, but looks okay. Okay, so we've got him put together, but we still need to add features to his face and to his flippers. So I'm going to use a black marker and create his nostrils and his eyes. The nostrils are going to be 2 little slits, just like that, near the tip of his head. And his eyes are going to be big. You want to draw a big circle on both sides of the head. And then to make him look like he's looking forward, you can put 2 smaller circles on the inside and color them in black. And he's now looking forward, like he's swimming towards something. And then for the flippers, I'm going to go ahead and add, they look like little claws. Put 2 lines on each one. And we have our tie-dye turtle. Okay, so I would love to see some of these after you finish them. I'd love to see the difference between a coffee filter and a paper towel. Maybe you want to do one of each. That would be interesting to see the contrast between the two. But one thing we forgot to do, and I cannot rewind this, is we were supposed to spray our turtle shell. Let me show you what it looks like after you spray it. Now, you want to spray it before you put it together like Mr. Mocker did. So here is a finished sprayed shell. You can see how the colors kind of creep together, blend together. And you can see, since we did not spray this one, which it still looks really nice, they just don't blend together like they did with the water. There's a difference. So Mr. Mocker made a big mistake. I do that from time to time. But that's what artists do. We keep going. We correct it. So, if you do not spray yours, don't feel bad. If you want to spray it after you've put it together and try to spray it, I don't think it will ruin it. I just think the paper may roll a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. So give it a shot. Let me see what these look like, and I cannot wait to see them. And we'll be back with a new project shortly. Thank you, guys.